Liverpool could soon experience a resolution to the Marc Guehi transfer saga this summer, and the story has already become one of the defining subplots of the 2025 transfer window as Arne Slot looks to shape his defensive department for the challenges of the 2025-26 campaign. The Merseysiders currently rely on Virgil van Dijk, Ibrahima Konaté, Joe Gomez, and Giovanni Leone at the heart of their defense. A unit that has been both resilient and vulnerable, depending on the circumstances over the past 12 months. The possible arrival of Crystal Palace's England international Guehi would add both immediate quality and long-term stability, a move that is increasingly gaining traction behind the scenes. Konaté and Gomez, while superb options at their best, have battled inconsistency and fitness issues that have raised real concerns about Liverpool's depth in central defense. Fabrizio Romano has reported for Caught Offside that Liverpool are indeed pushing hard to finalize the Guehi deal, prepared to pay beyond the 30-meter valuation to bring the player in before the September burst deadline. Personal terms, according to Romano, will not be a stumbling block. Guehi is fully open to the move and keen to test himself at Anfield under Slot's leadership. The ball now rests firmly in Crystal Palace's court, and the response of their board will determine whether a compromise can be reached that sees the England centre half-trade Selhurst Park for the Red of Merseyside. The underlying context here is important. Guehi has shown no willingness to extend his stay in South London beyond the summer of 2026. That leaves Palace's hierarchy staring at the harsh reality of potentially losing him for free next year. Something Chairman Steve Parish has made clear would not be a prudent outcome. The club has already suffered the departure of Ebereki to Arsenal earlier in the window, a blow to Oliver Glasner's squad both on the pitch and in terms of morale. Letting another cornerstone of their project depart in the same summer would be a bitter pill to swallow, yet economics and contracts have a habit of forcing decisions. Glasner himself has publicly stated he does not want Guehi to leave, going as far as to say in his pre-match press conference that it is not possible to find a replacement who can step straight into the Premier League as a starter. His insistence, from my side, he has to stay, reveals the split between the sporting demands of the coach and the business realities of the club executives. Liverpool supporters reading between the lines will see encouragement here. Glasner's wording clearly leaves the final call in the hands of the board rather than his own. And with Palace already looking at long-term targets like JD Canvat, whom Ben Jacobs describes as the eventual successor, but not an immediate plug-and-play option, the groundwork for Guehi's exit is arguably already laid. For Liverpool, the timing feels right. Virgil van Dijk remains the bedrock of their defense, but at 34, he cannot be expected to play every game at peak level. Ibrahima Konaté is elite but unreliable due to injuries. Joe Gomez's versatility is a gift, yet his form fluctuates. Giovanni Leone, the teenage Italian centre-back signed earlier in the window, is highly rated, but remains raw and in need of gradual exposure rather than immediate burden. Slot and sporting director Richard Hughes know that another proven centre-back is essential if Liverpool are to compete across four fronts this season. Guehi ticks almost every box. At 25, he has Premier League experience, England caps, leadership qualities, and the technical skill set to thrive in Liverpool's high-line and aggressive pressing system. The price tag, reportedly in excess of 30 million, feels fair in today's market where elite defenders often cost double. From Palace's perspective, there is also little to gain from holding him hostage for another season. The player's stance is clear: he will not renew his deal. They can force him to stay, but then risk losing him on a free in 12 months, a devastating EU financial outcome. Chairman Steve Parish has shown pragmatism in such situations before, sanctioning sales when it becomes the only logical solution. This may be another case where business outweighs sentiment. The subtext of Palace's summer is already telling. Easy's move to Arsenal was sanctioned despite Glasner's preference to retain him. That precedent suggests the board could yet override the head coach again. The question is whether Liverpool's bid crosses the threshold that makes it impossible to turn down. Sources close to the deal have indicated that an offer north of 35 million could be decisive. Liverpool, flush from recent Champions League revenue and domestic success, have the financial muscle to reach such a figure without disrupting their broader transfer plans. For Guehi himself, the move represents a natural career progression. He joined Palace from Chelsea in 2021, seeking regular minutes, and quickly established himself as one of the league's most consistent young defenders. 4 years later, he has proven himself at international level and deserves the platform of a club competing for the biggest honors. The chance to work under Arne Slot, who has already impressed players and staff with his tactical clarity and man management, is said to appeal strongly. Guehi knows he would not only be competing for trophies, but also sharpening his game alongside, and eventually succeeding Van Dijk. Liverpool's track record of developing defenders is also attractive. Just as Andy Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Van Dijk himself have all elevated their reputations at Anfield. The narrative is powerful, an England international stepping into the heart of the Liverpool defense at a time when the team needs to blend experience with renewal. Meanwhile, Palace faced their own identity crisis. Glasner was brought in to steady the ship and build towards mid-table solidity with dreams of European football. Losing both Easy and Guehi in one window would appear like regression rather than progress. Yet the club must juggle the financial imperative of selling stars before contracts run down with the sporting desire to stay competitive. Glasner's statement that, from my side, he has to stay, may express frustration more than expectation, a coded admission that decisions are above his pay grade. In broader Premier League terms, this transfer has implications too. Liverpool strengthening with Guehi not only fortifies their own title challenge, but weakens a mid-table rival, shifting the competitive balance. Arsenal's earlier raid has already highlighted the gap between the league's elite and its aspirants. For Liverpool, adding Guehi could be the final defensive piece needed to mount another 90-point season. For Palace, it signals another year of transition. Negotiations in the coming days will be key. Liverpool are believed to be structuring their proposal to include achievable add-ons that push the deal into the 35-40 million region. Palace will weigh whether that represents sufficient value against the risk of losing him for nothing in 2026. With the deadline of September 1st looming, both sides are aware that time is pressing. Guehi himself is maintaining professionalism, training, and playing as usual, but privately his camp is optimistic that the move will materialize. The situation is reminiscent of previous sagas where Liverpool acted late but decisively. Think of Virgil van Dijk in 2018 or Alisson Becker later that summer. When Liverpool identify their man and are willing to back Slot's vision, deals tend to get done. The echoes of those transformative signings add weight to this pursuit. If the Reds secure Guehi, it could mark another turning point in their evolution under Slot. Should the move collapse, they may need to scramble for alternatives, though few candidates in the market offer the same blend of youth, experience, and affordability. For now, the feeling within Liverpool is one of quiet confidence. They have put themselves in the strongest position and are prepared to test Palace's resolve. Ultimately, Palace's executives face a choice: take the money now or risk the wrath of losing a prized asset for nothing in 12 months. With Guehi unwilling to extend and Liverpool pushing hard, logic suggests a deal is edging closer.